channels who've said snitch or paedophile without any paperwork. They are all fucked. They're all fucked. Starting with the big, they are all fucked. Starting with the big, where they are all fucked. Lawsuited, fucked. Lawsuited, fucked. They are all fucked. Starting with the big, where they are all fucked. Lawsuited. Starting with the big. Starting with the big. Starting with the big, where they are all fucked. As long as they don't delete their videos, they are all fucked.
All right, y'all. This could be historic right here.
Hello.
Miss Christine, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. A little bit tired. I had my vaccine yesterday, so I'm a little bit tired.
Miss
And
Christine,
I've been scrubbing flats today.
Miss Christine, this is a epic moment. I don't think you realize how big this is right now.
Yeah, well, I think these people need to be exposed for who they are.
Well, what name do you want me to use?
What do you mean by what name?
How would you like to be addressed tonight?
So basically, I don't want Matt to have any. This is me doing this. So
you are live right now, so be careful with what you say.
Okay. So yeah. So I'm speaking on behalf of me. I'd like to be addressed as Chrissy. Thank you.
Okay.
My partner owned a flat that Shaun Attwood and Cali rented. So literally the deal was done within 24 hours. And I'm not down with all this podcast YouTube stuff, but I had listened to Attwood previously, talking about the Epstein case. So I listened to that, and I had seen Attwood on Banged Up Abroad. So I'm just walking the dog at the moment, so that's why I'm a little bit out of breath. So when I first saw Attwood, I knew a little bit about him, and I thought that he was doing good, you know, for great causes, and I thought that he had turned his life around, that he was a reformed character, but sadly that's not the case, and he's a scammer.
Yeah. So let me clarify here for everyone. We are live. We have about 250 people online right now, so it's a lot. That's a lot for a live stream. We already have 1,000 people, unique visitors. So this is this is massive news. Who are you, Miss Chrissy? Who are you in relation to Shaun Attwood?
So I am the partner of the landlord of the flat that apparently the GoFundMe money was raised for. So my partner owns the flat that Cali was renting.
Okay, so everyone, and I'm sorry, I'm going to break this down elementary to all the people tuning in right now.
Yeah.
This is epic history, guys. We have the landlord. So this entire time, Shaun Attwood has been saying that the GoFundMe money was being used to pay for Cali's rent. And we have the landlord here to tell us whether that was true or false.
Well, I'm the landlord's partner, so I witnessed when we done the signing of contracts, because I had seen Attwood and I had thought that he was a reformed character. I walked away from there. I knew Cali was a wrong 'un just from looking at her, and I walked away from there. They came across as if they were an item. They were in a relationship, and I thought, no way. He was suited and booted, as he always presents himself, very, very smart. And she looked awful, like she hadn't slept for days. And I walked out because the deal was literally done within less than 24 hours, and she had her stuff in the flat, so we didn't have time. Well, it wasn't down to me. My partner, who lets the flat, he because of Shaun Attwood, and because we thought he was a reformed character, we thought that perhaps he was helping Cali.
Yeah.
So we did think that they weren't in a relationship, and she was perhaps, we didn't think about this trafficking stuff. We thought that perhaps domestic violence, drugs, that's what I left thinking.
So
that he was helping her out.
Right. So I'm trying to. I have a series of questions that are in chronological order, and so we can get a good sense of the timeline and whatnot. I would like to ask you, if you don't mind, how much did they give you for deposit or rent initially?
So initially, he was trying to, Attwood was trying to give us cash, quite a bit of cash, and we wanted it to go through the bank. So Attwood gave £2,500 in cash, but Cali had a bank account as well. So they did pay $3,750, but we've had to give them $1,250 to get rid of them. So they've paid $2,500 out of the GoFundMe money.
Okay, so it's not you didn't get £5,500 like they were claiming?
No, we got 2,500. They've stolen. So they've stolen my daughter's bed, which would fit with the kinky shit that they're currently getting up to. A little pink bed. They've nicked the bed. They've stolen 2 DVD players, a TV. Yeah, but the state, I literally pulled a bed out today. I had all my PPE on. It was disgusting to be greeted with a used Durex. Actually, they weren't Durex. I don't know what they were. And two bottles of lube.
Oh, damn.
So that was delightful. My Saturday afternoon, lovely. and some roaches, some roach butts.
So the price of the rent included roaches. I'm teasing.
The roaches on the end of a joint. Yeah.
I'm just teasing you. Here's the next question. How much? Let's see. I'm sorry. Did Cali provide an ID, a passport, bank card, bank details?
She had a bank account. We had a bank transfer from Cali.
Okay. Yeah. So these questions.
And this was the 1st of August, 2020.
So you got bank details from Cali, is what you're saying?
Yeah, she done a transfer. She had a bank account, because it wasn't until I spoke to a friend of mine who said, I told him about the Attwood situation and the trouble we were having at the flat, and he went, "Oh my God, it's not that old thing that's been trafficked, is it?" And I didn't know anything about this. And that's when I looked on the internet and saw all this Cali diamond. I'm like, that is the girl that's in the bloody flat. It was just like, oh, so I've just kept on watching and kept myself in the loop to see what's going on and stuff. Yeah.
Holy smokes. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
This is historic, Chrissy. I don't think you realize how big this is. So here, like I said, we have a list of questions. And big shout out to Miss Fletchy and Missy T for these. Let's see. Did either of them... Okay, so we got the bank details. How long did she live there?
So, we don't really know, actually, because found some paperwork today which would indicate that she was probably subletting one of the rooms, and I think the other bedroom was used for business. So I don't know actually how long she was there. There was so many goings on, people in and out all of the time. So I know that in the first couple of months she was there. Her son came to stay for one weekend, but the rest of the time the house was filled with vagrants. Like, they looked like homeless people. They propositioned one of the guys that was in the flat propositioned one of the single mums from the flat, really scared her out in the bin stores. Just running round the block asking for people's Wi-Fi, and so we didn't really know that there was a problem until the neighbours started contacting us saying, like, we've got to put draft excluders under our doors, the smell of weed is coming up through our flat, there's things going missing, the noise, the amount of people coming in and out. We're in a pandemic and there's people in and out all day, all night. Cocaine being dropped off out the back on CCTV.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the make, model, registration of that. We had so there were approximately 22 police allegations for
22.
22.
So let me
reports,
ask you this,
sorry.
Miss Chrissy. Cali Diamond is in the chat. She keeps asking, or she keeps saying that the police are involved currently. Do you want to address that question, or do you want to move on?
No, I will address that.
She's in the live chat right now.
Because Cali is saying that so there were two masked men she's been going on about. So that was obviously the landlord, because and that was entrapment actually. So she told us a whole pack of lies that her mum had broken her leg, so she wasn't in the flat. So when we've got people saying I'm losing my mind with the amount of noise that's going on up there, and Cali is apparently in the West Country seeing to her mum, that's why the landlord went in, because he was like, well, my tenant's not there, so who is there? And the police did go to the flat, and because of the complaints from the neighbours, and they smelt the stench of weed, because they basically confirmed it to the neighbours. But that was nothing to do with the landlord entering the property. We have had the police contact us to ask us about her whereabouts, and we think that they should be asking about our whereabouts, really, the amount of stress. Cali says that she's a victim. I'm an adult survivor of sexual abuse. I'm a recovering heroin addict, 16 years in recovery. I work a 12-step program. I used to offend. I was in Holloway prison 17 years ago. So everything that they are, they make a mockery of what they're, it's just bollocks, basically.
Yeah.
And I think it's fucking insulting. And I think that they must think people are fucking bonkers to believe that bullshit. Yeah. So
that is,
you know, I went to the flat earlier on to clean it, and just left parcel doorstep drops for all of the neighbours so they could get pissed and have a party tonight.
So, wow, yeah, this is a lot of information to take in. Let me ask you something a little more personal. Do you know how long? So was Cali's son part of the lease, or were they? Did they hop in, or do you know how long they actually lived there? Because that's a key component to the whole GoFundMe story from Shaun Attwood.
Cali's son wasn't living there at all. She, as far as we know, he was there for a weekend.
Holy shit.
And I'm quite glad that he was only there for a weekend because of the unsavoury characters that were there.
Yeah. And you said you have CCTV footage of all this information, right?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Is there any way I can get a couple clips? And if you don't want me to show it, I will not show it. I just want to verify it myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I just, you know, I like to run on facts because I started the show disproving a proven liar in Andrew Guine who was just lying and lying and lying. And so I like to go by facts. And so I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just want something that I can, you know, actually put my hands on and verify. You know what I'm saying? And if you tell me you don't want me to show it, I will not show it.
I wouldn't have even known about any of you guys. I wouldn't have known about all this YouTube stuff, and I wouldn't have known any about. I mean, I've heard Attwood once talk about Epstein, but like what goes on with amongst all you guys, because I've listened to quite a few of you now. So I wouldn't have known anything about it until they started causing shit.
Yeah.
In our lives, and they did cause proper shit in our lives. Like, we've got our own stuff going on, and and Cali's, it's like everything's about her. No, it fucking isn't. Sort your fucking head out.
Yeah.
Sort your head out. Stop sniffing the fucking coke. Stop smoking the fucking weed. Sort your head out. Get some. If you have been fucking trafficked, if you are a fucking victim, get some help. Get over it, and then start helping people. Don't be out there fucking selling yourself, because that's the last thing that it just doesn't add up to me. All this bollocks.
Yeah.
And another thing that fucks me right off, excuse my French, but that she wants to help young girls. Like, she's a prostitute, she's got adult work, and she wants to help young girls.
Yeah.
She should come with a fucking government health warning. Like, my kid, I'm the proud mother of 2 daughters, and I wouldn't want them breathing the same air as her.
Yeah.
She's that fucking toxic.
Hey, what's up, y'all? If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that sentiment. So you did touch on police activity on the premises. Did you have complaints from the neighbors or anything regarding the flat at that time?
That is the only reason that. So basically, she was given a warning saying the neighbours have smelt weed. You know, it's a nice little place there. The neighbours are sweet. Don't screw it up for yourself. If you want to smoke it, take yourself off for a walk. That was the first warning that she got.
Yeah.
And then it was just constant. It seemed that like after we said that, then it was just like a child, just completely rebelling, like parties throughout the night, people downstairs just at their wits' end, like key workers that have to go to work.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck? Who the actual fuck do you think you are to be?
I'm not laughing at you. You know, it's just I've been a landlord. And I think I told you this. I've been a landlord. I've managed properties myself. And I know. I mean, when you were describing to me, we have been in contact for how long now? We've been in contact for what? Yeah. A good month now. Maybe maybe a little bit more than that. We've been in contact, and I have never told anyone that we have been in contact with you. This is the first time people are hearing about this. We have 1,200 unique visitors so far. We have 300 people currently viewing this. This is massive news, and people know it. This is why they're tuned in. But I have never said anything. And this whole time, people were talking shit. People were spewing lies and whatnot. And I had to bite my tongue. And believe me, Chrissy, I wanted to say this, but I kept my mouth shut. And so I can't thank you enough for accepting my invitation to get on tonight. I showed you the clip where Shaun was with John Wedger, and they were laughing, having a good time, thinking they were safe. Well, once this stream gets out and people start watching this, it's gonna get tens of thousands of views, Miss Chrissy. And so people need to realize this is massive news, because this whole time they've been talking about the GoFundMe. They were saying it was for legitimate reasons. Shaun was even threatening to sue myself and Chancer over this. And with what you are saying, you have proven everything we have said against Shaun, that the GoFundMe was all a scam.
Yeah, and I believe that there are more under his name.
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's a big one that goes by T-Bone, which is for a friend of his. And it sounds like a Hollywood movie. T-Bone is it's in his book, and to me it's a fictional character, but this T-Bone character is a giant African American guy who's 6'6" or something like that, who protected little scraggly Attwood while his time in prison in Arizona. It's just like the movie The Green Mile. And while he was in prison, T-Bone protected him, so he built him a GoFundMe, which has collected over $18,000. $18,000, and there's no proof of this T-Bone character ever existing or living. So where is that $18,000? Where is that money? And so someone like myself and Chancer, and we scratch our heads, like, what the fuck is going on here? And so when we heard the GoFundMe for this, for Cali, a active sex worker, we started digging deep.
Active sex worker.
Yes.
Apparently, one of the visitors who frequented the flat, he used to take his shoes off outside, which was ever so kind. I mean, I've walked out the flat wiping my shoes on the way out today. So yeah, she's there's been a lot of activity going on.
Let me ask you another question. Did you interact with Shaun, on a personal basis at all during this time?
No.
So no Shaun. You did get a letter though.
We've so after the landlord entered the property, Attwood then went round and changed the locks and said that Cali didn't feel safe, I do believe, but didn't tell us that the locks were changed.
No.
We know that Attwood changed the locks because somebody was there that was watching him change the locks. Yeah, and
do you have CCTV of this?
CCTV in the block.
And you have the footage of this taking place?
We have, and there's another. We have footage as well of Attwood helping Cali with some of her stuff a few weeks back, and
yeah. You showed it to me.
We're gonna have a look at that, because if that's got any of the property going into his car that has been stolen from the flat, yeah, we're gonna check up on that CCTV.
Yeah, and I remember you sending the screenshots. Like I've already mentioned and disclosed, you and I, as well as the Bloodhound and Chancer, we have been in touch with you this entire time for what, a good month, at least a month. Maybe as far as a month and a half. We've been in contact, and so, I mean, you have been giving us updates. You did show us a letter that you received that claimed that Cali was going to that Shaun claimed. Yeah, that Shaun claimed Cali was going to be working under him, right, as proof of employment. Am I right?
Well, we were given this letter and we didn't know where it was from. This was after Shaun had given me one of his books, which I see it happens quite often. He just randomly starts handing out books to people.
Yes.
So that letter was supposed to be proof of employment, proof of earnings, and it was from a publishing company. So Shaun was vouching for everything. So basically it happened literally overnight, Friday night in Saturday, and I'm looking at Jenny actually, and thinking, the state of you just moving into this place, looking at, I am a recovering addict, so I know how it feels to feel how she feels probably on most days. Yeah. And when I looked at her on that Saturday morning, I thought, you have got no get up and go in you whatsoever. There's no way you are starting a job the following Monday. Not a fucking hope. And on the drive back, I was like, it's dodgy. It's fucking dodgy. And the only the only thing that we thought was a saving grace was Attwood, because we thought that perhaps he would be helping her.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is huge. Let's see. So another question that I had was, were there any police incidents during that time? You are claiming that there are 22 police incidents. Is that right?
We've got 22 police references.
Holy
police
shit.
Reference numbers.
Do you know who was calling these in?
We do now, but we didn't at the time. The landlord warned Cali in the first instance when the weed was being smelt initially. Look, don't piss the neighbours off. If you're going to smoke it, there's a field across the way. Take a walk. Go walk up the road and smoke a joint. Don't piss the neighbours off. So it was after that. So they had already said that they were going to phone the police after they smelt the weed. But the strength of the smell in the block, they were saying it smelt more like a grow than a spliff. Like, it was so powerful.
Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere near the flat at the time. We just stayed away. So yeah, but yeah, it was fierce. So I know that the police knocked on quite a few occasions and didn't get any response. That's why they phoned us.
The police case numbers and whatnot. So if you wanted to verify that,
I've got all the police reference numbers. We've got a whole timeline of events. We've got the whole works of
do you mind
everything.
Would you mind sharing with me that timeline of events? And if you don't want me to share it, publicly, I will not. I'm a person of my word. If I say something, that's what I say. But I just want to be able to ease my mind that we have the evidence needed, because Cali's on the live chat right now screaming up and down that everything you are saying is a lie. That's what she's claiming.
Oh, okay, whatever. I've got better things to do than sit on the end of the bloody phone.
Yeah.
Speaking to somebody that I've never met. I've only been introduced to this world because of her.
Right.
Because I've been trying to find out what she's like.
Right.
And I'm a very good judge of character, and I don't need anybody to tell me what she's like. I know what she's like.
Yeah, and
she's only got one thing that she's surviving on at the moment, and that's going to get old, and she ain't going to be able to use that forever.
That's what I've been saying from day one, Chrissy, is that eventually Shaun's going to toss her out, and she's going to have to tell the truth.
100%.
Yeah, she's going to have to tell the truth no matter what, because Shaun's going to dump her, toss her out, and going to be looking for a new piece of ass at the end of the day. So don't take.
At the end of the day, since she come on, she has been his downfall. It would appear that she has been his downfall, because she's so reckless and unmanageable in her addiction. It's her unmanageability that's brought it on top with the police, that's fucked everything up. With her adult work and whatever, her stay in Guildford. I mean, there's a lot of people that they have upset.
Right.
I only have to look on here and say everyone's in uproar.
Yeah. No, this is what I'm telling you, Chris. I don't think you yourself realize how big this is. This is gigantic news. We're going to be doing stories on this, and we hope that eventually the newspapers have the balls to actually start talking about this. I mean, they were willing to cover the Darren G and James English beef. This is massive news. This is way bigger than that. So hopefully someone has the news, but we're going to get this story out. We're going to keep hammering it away. And I mean, I can't thank you enough for this, Miss Christie. This is historic by all accounts. Let me ask you a few more questions. I know it's late over there, and I don't want to keep you on the phone too long, but I just want to wrap up these questions here. Do you believe that Cali was working as a sex worker from your flat?
Yes.
Okay. And what leads you to believe that? CCTV footage, any of that?
Yeah, just the volume of men in and out, and I haven't seen that with my own eyes. That's been reported to me.
Okay.
So I haven't seen it with my own eyes, and I know that they weren't sticking to COVID regulations. I know that for a fact just from the bits of footage that I've seen, because I've seen some quite damning bits of footage. So I do think that she was, and obviously today I've pulled the bed out and found used condoms and lube and all sorts of jazz under there.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So speaking of CCTV footage, were you able to ever verify that 2 masked men came in after her, as she has been claiming over and over, even on her own channel?
No, the people that went in there was the landlord and his partner, and his partner in business. They worked together, his business partner. So basically, they didn't know what they were going into, because obviously the complaints from the neighbours, and Cali had said that she was down attending to her mum's broken leg. So they were like, who the fuck is in the flat upsetting the neighbours and making so much noise? One of the neighbours said that she'd never heard a noise like it. It was sending her insane continuously all through the night. So it was the landlord and his business partner that went in, and they weren't masked up. They had COVID masks on. They weren't taken off. They weren't taken away by the police. The police have called us to ask about her whereabouts. We have told them this was a while back. They've asked us a few questions. We've helped them with their inquiries, and literally that's been it.
No, that's massive news. So let's see. Have you confirmed that the money never got to you? And let's see. And that, can you confirm that the rent went unpaid from the day Cali moved in?
So they paid on the day she moved in. So all in all, because we've had to give her $12.50 back to get her out of the property, because we didn't have a government bond scheme in place. So because we didn't have a government bond scheme in place, she could have had us for 3 times the $1,250, which was the cost of rent. But because she had lived there for so long without paying anything, and she's robbed us, and the state of the place, and legal advice, we're out of pocket. They've screwed us over, and I don't think that she's got the sense behind this. I think that Shaun is the mastermind behind everything she does. I think she's a little puppet, Shaun's little puppet.
Yeah.
And as soon as he tries to fuck her off, which I think that he's gradually trying to get a little bit more of space between them each time, because she's got so much shit on him, she can bring him down.
Yeah.
Because she knows that he is a wrong'un.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what I've been saying from the very beginning of all this.
You know what? What really pisses me off is like when it's just him, like where she's dressed up, and he's just like a seedy old bastard.
Yeah.
It's just like, you gross man. Like, you fucking wrong'un.
He's in his 50s, but he tries to act like he's a younger cat, and he's scoring luxury, excuse my language, but he acts like he's scoring luxury puss, and he's a man in his 50s.
Really?
That's the image we know about him. But when he shows up on his YouTube channel doing his Epstein videos, he's a clean-cut, wholesome guy, out to exposing wrong-ins and shit. And when you know him better than that, that is far from the truth,
Yeah.
It's pathetic, and that's why we are here today. We've got a massive turnout so far. Let's see, what stuff did you find in the flat after they had moved out? Any illegal activity? Any proof of illegal activity or any of that?
Just the drug paraphernalia, which is to be expected. We do, and it was just like
Was it more than marijuana? Was it more nefarious than that?
yeah, cocaine, remnants of cocaine. But they had been on when the landlord went in about the noise. They had been on the cocaine then because he had taken pictures whilst he was in there of the cocaine. Yeah, so.
Is there any way I could get my hands on those pictures?
We'll
you never know unless you
ask.
ask.
We'll talk off air.
Okay. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I've got to ask. I'm sorry. And and I'm almost done with these questions, Miss Chrissy. I truly appreciate your time. This is groundbreaking, historic stuff right here. And
okay.
Let's see. I've got 2 more questions, and we can wrap it up if you want. I mean, if you want to go longer, we can definitely go longer, but it's up to you.
We do 2, and then to be continued.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do a part 2 next weekend for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
How much did they pay you overall?
2,500.
Okay, so they are claiming. So we know that they received 5,500 pounds for their GoFundMe, and Shaun threatened us with some legal activity against Chancer and I, because they were claiming that all the GoFundMe account monies went towards rent and clothing. So if you only received half of that amount, that means the other half went towards clothing? Are you fucking kidding me?
Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine ain't cheap.
Can I just add one thing?
By all means.
So I know 100% that Guildford Borough Council did not approach Shaun to house Cali or to support her. I know 100%.
Okay. How do you know this? And again, I'm not questioning you. I just want to ask, so we can verify and.
It's not protocol. I work with vulnerable. I work with recovering addicts. I work with the still suffering addict, and so there are programs within Guildford, and there are women's hostels. So Cali would have been appointed in the direction of Mulberry House, where she would have received a key worker. So they have rape crisis counsellor. They have the works up there. So there's no way that they would have put her with a male. They would have put her in a whole female community, where she could have been looked after and held in a safe environment.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. So, overall, what do they owe you in money for rents? This is the final question, and we could do a part 2 if you agree to it, and we can make a date for it.
Yeah. Do you know what? We don't want fuck all. We just want we're just glad they're out of our lives. And I will not be bullied by either one of them. We're not that kind. We're not pushovers, no fucking way.
Yeah.
The fucking flashbacks, I'm a victim, all that bollocks, that doesn't wash with me either. So we don't want anything off of them. Matt just, I don't know, he's just glad to see the back of them, and we don't want fuck all off of them. She's trashed the place. Like, he had put his heart and soul into that, and that's our little girl's future. So yeah, it's just, how fucking dare you? How dare she just come in and treat the place how she did? It's just like, I know that she's severely messed up to live in that kind of environment. The environment that she made it, your head must be proper fucked. She made a plush little apartment into a squat.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Miss Chrissy, I know we didn't really plan it, and I wasn't sure if we were going to have you on, so you are a treasure thank you so much. And I know
No
we.
worries.
And would you agree to a part 2 next weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. Around the same
Yeah.
time next Saturday, and that way we can announce it and get it properly. We had a lot of people tonight, and it was kind of last minute, but I would like to have a proper advertisement, if you will, and get as many people, because at the end of the day, what we want is people to know. So anyone in the live chat right now, they're watching, share this, put this on your social medias. The word needs to get out. The case has been closed. Shaun has been going around claiming that the GoFundMe was 100% legit. And we have just found out that that is absolute bollocks, right, Miss Chrissy?
Oh yeah. All in all, at the end, we had all in all, at the end of the day, we had £2,500 off of her, and that was rent from the 1st of August right round until the 20th of January. So it was supposed to be £1,250 a month. So we've had 2,500 because we've given her 1,250 back. So out of the GoFundMe money, if that's what it was for, we've had 2,500.
Yeah. 100%. Holy smokes. Miss Chrissy, you are a certified badass. Much respect for you, because, you mentioned to me earlier that you are a recovering survivor, a recovering, survivor overall. You've had a hard life yourself. And for you to come on and share your story in front of thousands is extremely brave of you, and nothing but respect for you. You are an awesome person, and I can't thank you enough for this.
No worries. It's. Do you know what? I'm just telling the truth. That's it. I'm just sharing my experience, and and I just want people to realise that he's not this charismatic do-gooder that he pretends that he is, that he pretends to be. And Cali, she just fucks herself up anyway, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Really.
And I don't want to trash Cali in 100%, because I've told you this, I've admitted to you, because I don't bullshit people. I tell people the truth. And I do talk to Cali. And we haven't talked to. I haven't talked to Cali in a long time. She hasn't messaged me in a long time. But we have a weird relationship, and I tell people it's a weird relationship because she talks to me quite a bit. She shares with me personal information, some information that I have never told anyone. But I have told Cali straight to her face that I know you lie to me. I know you lie to me. Just be honest with me, and it would set you free.
Just be honest. And do you know what? Part of me has compassion and empathy towards her. Like, I've even said I feel sorry for her, because that life is fucking shit. It's an existence. Like, it just being addicted to any mind or mood altering substance. It's, part of me has empathy and compassion for her, and another part of me fucking hates her for what she's done, and the stress. And like over Christmas, like every time the phone went, it's like, oh God, is that her again with her game playing? And we're having Christmas trying not to let our anxiety and stress leak out onto the children. And my mother-in-law is very, very poorly, so she's in our support bubble, and it was a very stressful time, and they just added to it massively. And I just think, you're not the people you say you are, and Cali needs to help Cali before Cali can help anybody else.
Yeah, 100%. Miss Christy, again, you are a 100% certified badass, a strong, independent woman, no question about it. And so I can't thank you enough. And
no worries.
I know it's getting late over there, so everyone in the stream, we're gonna continue the stream. Don't log off. I'm not stopping. I just want to let Miss Chrissy.
Yeah.
I know she's pressed on time, and
Yeah, we'll chat in the week.
yeah, 100%. And it,
All right.
yeah, if we can plan a date for next Saturday,
Yeah.
that would
We'll
be
have a
awesome.
date.
So just to
We'll have a
let
date,
you,
mate.
yeah, just to finish off, how much went unpaid as far as rents? What was the total amount?
So, 2000, hang on, so we done August, September, October, November, 3,750.
So just under £4,000 is what is owed to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want people to take that number. That's a lot of money. And put yourself in the shoes of a landlord, especially during COVID. It's some hard times for everyone. And so this is no game. This is serious stuff. And that's why we are doing these live streams. We're getting the word out. So, Miss Chrissy, thank you so much. We will stay in touch. And we hopefully have a date set for next Saturday. And we can have a little, let the word out more. We're going to get the word out. We're going to get this thing rolling. So thank you so much, Miss Chrissy. You are my new hero. How's that?
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much, young lady. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.